Once again, I watch Death Parade and I just fall in love with the show. It is, quite frankly, one of the better anime I've seen in a very long time. The concept is just so awesome, and you get to see, it is a real character-driven show. You really feel for each of these characters when they died, and you kind of see their past and how they died, and it's just a great show. I love this show. I highly urge you guys and ladies to go watch this show. It is so just goddamn good. But in this episode, it's going along the lines of the first episode. We get a new, not really a couple, but we get to see this new couple here who has died, a much younger couple, and they pretty much, man, this episode was actually a really good one. We get to see a new couple and we get to see a new game. This time it's actually pretty interesting. It is a younger couple, and this time we get to see bowling, and it looks like, I'm almost kind of wondering, the game is randomized. They do press a button and it goes through a roulette and it randomizes the game. But I also want to say that the game may not be completely random, because as we go down the episode, we learn that bowling is actually tied to this couple, and because the chick actually worked at a bowling place. So I'm not really sure the game is entirely random. I have a feeling that maybe each, depending on the scenario, because it may seem like in the case of the first couple that we saw in episode 1, the game might have been random with darts, but it seems like maybe this time bowling wasn't entirely random, and it was tied to them in some fashion. But this time around they get to play bowling, and it's actually pretty interesting. The game works a lot like regular bowling. Whoever has the highest score wins, but the bowling balls have their hearts in them, and the heart inside the bowling ball actually reacts to how they're feeling. So if they're nervous, their heart's going to beat a little bit faster, and you can actually feel the warmth of their heart in the bowling ball when they're bowling. So it's actually pretty interesting. And in this game, they felt no pain. Even though they were pretty much bowling with a bowling ball with their heart inside, they felt no pain. So it's actually pretty interesting that they were honestly playing a nice game of bowling while kind of feeling the other person's feelings in the bowling ball. So I thought that was a really, really cool concept. But kind of how it worked in the first episode, they uncover their memories as they go, as they're playing bowling, and these two really start to hit it off. They're enjoying their time playing bowling, even though they have no idea what situation they're in. They're just in this random bar, having to play a game that determines what's going to happen to them, and they're surprisingly pretty calm about it. And then as they're playing it, they're getting these memories, and it turns out that this guy who, he's been looking for someone pretty much this whole time, this girl he used to play with when he was younger who moved away, and he thinks he found her at first, but it actually turns out that this girl is actually a childhood friend of his who has pretty much been around him this whole entire time, and she gets plastic surgery to presumably look like this other person so he would pay attention to her more. And it's not until later down the line that he sees her while she's working at this bowling place and goes to confront her while they're riding on a bus, and then the bus gets in a car crash, and then they die. And that's where they end up in this bar. And it's actually pretty interesting. It's like a complete 180 from the first episode. These two don't really go nuts. At the end of the game, they actually decide, you know what? They're going to enjoy the time that they do have in this bar, and they're going to go on a date. And that, I thought that was really cool. They're going to go on a date, they're going to enjoy their time in this bar. And again, this is one sick-ass bar. They go in like one of those freaking canoe things on a little lake inside this bar. I'm like, I want to see this full freaking bar. I want to see how big this bar is and what it has. I want a whole episode of them just touring the bar. I think it would be, this is one badass bar. But it's actually pretty cool that Decim actually allows this couple to have a date, and he pulls this really, really lame joke where they ask to go on a date, and he says, yes, it's 5 minutes, okay? And then the chick, the assistant, just flips out, and it was hilarious. But he said it was a joke, and it's honestly hard to tell because the dude is so monotone that it was just even that more funny when he said it. But overall, really good episode. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I really liked how the bowling was done with the hearts inside the bowling ball, so you can feel the other person's feelings, how they were, whether they were nervous, mad, any of that. And then how this couple actually ended up getting closer at the end of this, I thought was actually pretty cool, completely different. It actually shows, the show actually really shows just how much of a roller coaster human emotions really are. And I thought this episode was awesome. I'd give this episode about 8.5 out of 9. Thought it was really good. The animation was excellent, like always. This show has really good animation, and the lighting. I just really want to know more about. I wish they would do a little bit more explanation on who went to heaven or who went to hell, or who got reincarnated and who went into the void. They don't really explain that too well. I wish they'd kind of go into that a little bit more. And I kind of want to know more about this world or purgatory type place, whatever it is that this bar takes place in, because it seems like it's pretty big. It's not. There is a world outside of this bar, and I'd really like to see more of that, which I'm sure they'll get into as we go down the anime. But I really like this show. I urge you guys to go check it out. But tell me what you guys thought in the comments below. Tell me if you guys thought I missed anything. Thank you all so much for the love and support this year in 2015. And if you could give this video a like, I would very much appreciate it. You all are awesome, and I'll see you all next time. I am out.